Listening brothers and sisters and you viewers of Radio Eugene, Godfried International, thank you for joining us in this very important dialogue, reflection that we're going to make on the situation of race in Cuba, especially going back to 1912. So many people are talking about racism in Cuba and so on in a spectacular way, but every other country and the whole continent has gotten problems with race and nationalities due to colonialism, Eurocentrism, and Euro-hegemonism. Let me call it that way. So why should Cuba not have its own? But we need to be serious about the matter. And this matter now, which is the 1912 massacre of people of color that took place in Cuba, has had from the very beginning an international impact. Jamaica, Haiti, what have you, even Curacao, for many years people talk about it, where I was born. And what really happened, we are so happy that, in fact, that the president of Cuba, Dr. Fidel Castro Rus, has published in an article in Imperio y la Isla Independiente, the Empire and the Independent Island of Granma, of the 16th of August of the year 2007, in which he made some reflections and commentaries on the 1912 massacre. He states in the first line, in the first paragraph, that the Secretary of State then, Manuel Sanguilí, excuse me, negotiated with the Foreign Affairs Department of the United States a new treaty to have the extension that they wanted to make of Bahia Honda's base that they used to have. This was carbon for ships and so on. They used to have at Bahia Honda, which is near to Pinal del Rio, where you have a massive amount of people of light skin color living. And to move it to Guantanamo. Emmanuel Sanguilí is a well-known man for his racist attitudes in earlier days and conflicts with others on racial questions. So it will not surprise us that way in advance all these things were cooked up in a way to fit what was coming. Because Guantanamo is the farmost eastern part of Cuba with a historical, revolutionary and militant tradition, the land of the Cimarrones, the outliers, the Maroons, and the Palenques, the liberated zones by them, the land of Antonio Maceo, the land of his mother, Mariana Grajales, and others. That's a land also where you've had all those slave hunters entities that used to exist. And also, why not? Haiti, with its revolutionary past right next door, and Jamaica on the other hand. And this topic, has been publicized in all papers around the region, even in Curacao where I was born, as I said. So, furthermore, the article states that in the same year, the Partido Independiente de Color was butchered by the President Jose Miguel Gomez. Not only the party, but all its followers and everybody whom they thought at random to be supporters of that party would have been. And then we have to say, it was all what really had happened. What was the problem was, there was a certain amendment presented to the Senate, Cuban Senate, by a certain Mr. Martin Moro Delgado himself, the son of a Viscayan Spanish man, father, and enslaved African mother. Okay, that is, but a man of intellectual stature, a man who was translated the Toussaint Louverture, a man who was an outstanding, as is being recognized, writer, author, and journalist, a friend of Maceo. He was Maceo's envoy to Mexico on one occasion, and he had struggled under Maximo Gomez, one of the commanders, high commands of the liberation struggles of Cuba. Well, after independence was fought, and in those sectors that Maceo has always called upon them, look, please don't bring no United States segregationist and racist army here to come and do nothing against Spain. I can even go on the side of Spain to fight them. And if they do come, they will find the land and the soil of Cuba soaked with blood, because we'll fight. But yet these classes, with their segregationist interests, because that is what they proved afterwards, connived with the American forces, and Guantanamo base, naval base, was put into practice. And we've seen indeed that on 1912 those troops came out and were patrolling the streets all over the eastern part of Cuba. Now, but what did the amendment say basically? And they just said, in any no case will be considered a political party or independent group any association consisting only of individuals of just one race or color, motivated by birth, wealth, or professional title. And it was signed on the 14th of February 1910 by Barúa Martín Moro Delgado, Antonio González Pérez, and Tomás Evaristo of the Partido Liberal, ruling party. And it was objected by Salvador Cisneros Betancourt and Mr. La Guardia y Caballero. Martín Moro Delgado does not say in this statement, go and kill people. He himself died in 1910. And in 1912, a complete butchering of people took place, of over 7,000 in all. We're still counting the amount of that over the whole nation of Cuba, and especially in the eastern part of Cuba. La Maya only suffered the area 3,000 people, and Guantanamo and all of them, you see. So in this dialogue, we know that you, Dr. Fidel Castro, colleague and comrade, you are the follower, and we recognize you as the follower of Antonio Maceo, who was never tired, and was, even when he was ill with 26 wounds affected by the war on his body, he would still jump on a horse and with his machete. We went on, and cutlass would go on forward, fighting for peace, for justice, for equality, for independence, anti-racism, and so on and so forth. Please, in your reflections and actions, combining reflections and actions, let us censor severely Jose Miguel Gomez, the president of Cuba, as one of the worst men for humanity that we have known in the Caribbean, and all of the clique from Pinar del Rio till Guantanamo who had participated with him, including Pedro Agustin Perez and the the Volunteers Battalion and whoever else was in it, all to be censored officially. And then eternal glory to the families of Evaristo Estenoz, Pedro Ivonet, Eugene and others of the leadership of the Partido Independiente de Color, and their families who had to suffer these type of hardships by losing their beloved one in an irrational way. And according to our Cuban tradition, we say goodbye in a African-Cuban fashion, saying ashe for you, and let Shango or Saint Barbara accompany you and give you lots of health and life, because we need you, and for you to be in Ire. And I am Eugene, Godfried, yours in steadfast friendship, listening brothers and sisters, and you viewers of Radio Eugene Godfried International. Until another occasion, bye-bye.